안녕하십니까. 2022년 노리미츠 탭톡의 독일편 사회를 맡은 성무량입니다. 오늘은 독일 장애예술 분야에서 지난 20여 년간 활발하게 활동하고 있는 단체의 관계자를 모시고 좀 더 자세한 얘기를 들어보고자 합니다. 크리스티나 쉘하츠는 대학에서 연극학을 전공하고 난 뒤에 베를린의 샤우비네나 등에서 되게 활발하게 연극 연출을 하고 있고요. 동시에 축제 큐레이터로도 일하고 있습니다. 자, 그럼 한번 모셔보겠습니다.
Hi, welcome all. Thank you so much for the honor of being here and being able to present our organization, Lebenshilfe Kunst and Kultur from Germany, and also the festival No Limits, which happens every second year in Berlin. And myself, my name is Christina Schelhas. I am a theater director and work as a curator for No Limits in Berlin, but also I'm helping or I'm working at the organization Lebenshilfe Kunst und Kultur. And I'm sitting here in Berlin. Behind me, there's a white wall, and I'm wearing a black t-shirt, and I have blonde hair and a fringe, white skin, and I think, yeah, green earrings. And yes, I'm very happy to be here, as I said. Okay. Before I start, I would like to mention that my English is not my native language, so there might be some mistakes in my presentation, and I hope, or my apologies for that. So in my presentation, there are slides projected to my side, and I will read out every like all the words and describe the picture which are shown in the slide briefly. So here to my right, it's written Christina Schelhas, theater director and curator of Lebenshilfe Kunst and Kultur. In my presentation, I will talk about the inclusive festivals of Lebenshilfe Kunst und Kultur. Those festivals are Grenzenlos Kultur, which happens every year in Mainz, Mittenmang in Bremen, boulevART, and Alles muss RAUS. Those are our two street festivals. And in the end, I will focus on No Limits in Berlin. So Lebenshilfe Kunst und Kultur has been organizing inclusive theater festivals for 25 years. And our aim is to support the equal participation of artists with disability on and off stage. And also I can proudly say that really throughout the years, also during our festivals, a lot of artists met on those festivals, and a collaboration, really famous and well-working collaboration, has come out of it. Our aim is as well to support the exploration of aesthetic boundaries and disrupt society's dominant social norms. And of course, to create public forums for dialogue. Like I said, of course, also for the audience to meet incredible artists. Yes, of course, we want to create public forums for dialogue, not only for the audience, but as I said, which happens naturally, also for the artist in between to meet and exchange. This means also create space for encounters. Yes, like I said, between audience and artists, but also between artists. And I before I start talking about the festivals in more depth, I would like to say my personal relationship towards the organization and towards the festival. Like I said, I'm a theater director, and the reason why I'm here basically is a theater production that I produced 10 years together with my sisters. And 2 years ago, we created a new show. So here you can see that's us. That's my little sister in the front, an artist with Down syndrome, and my older sister and myself in the background. And the show is called The Mythos Beginnt. Basically what it means, a new myth is starting. The first festival I'm going to talk about is the festival Grenzenlos Kultur, because it is the first festival which was established in 1997. It happens every year, and it attracts approximately 2,000 spectators, and it's in cooperation with Stadttheater Mainz, which is kind of the main theater of the city. It's a theater funded by the state. It's an indoor festival, and our theater productions are shown in 2 stages, like in 2 stages. So there is one theater space with 400 seats and a smaller space with 100 seats. The festival is 10 days long and entails 15 performances and 1 symposium. And this year, it's still happening in September. Starting on the 22nd of September, we're opening up with a production by Claire Cunningham, The Way You Look at Me Tonight. In the picture, you see Jess Curtis and Claire Cunningham in the middle of a street. And Claire is lifting herself up with her crutches, leaning against Jess, and like the passengers are looking at them. So I'm just going to present 2 more shows of a really exciting program we have coming up. You're more than welcome to look on our website for more details. We also show the production by Theater Hora and a feminist collective called Henrique Iglesias. There on the picture, which is projected now, you see 7 persons sitting with very glorious costumes, looking directly at the audience. And the show is about fairy tales, but it's told like they're producing their own fairy tale about beauty and basically breaking down the norms of beauty and exceptions and fairy tales. The last show I'm going to present is Dance in the 21st Century by Natalia Vladisavljevic. It's a choreographer with Down syndrome who produced her own performance with other dancers. It's quite a large ensemble, and the performance is about, like the title said, dance in the 21st century. And it's a performance, it's very interesting because she uses a lot of aesthetics. There's some philosophy in it and dance choreography, but also she's working with modern technologies. And the symposium Ostwind is part as well of the festival. It's happening at the end for 3 days. It's curated by Sasha Asentic, who is the director of the company boulevART in Serbia. The festival is happening from the 22nd of September to the 2nd of October this year. So you're more than welcome to come to Mainz. I will go to present Mittenmang. Mittenmang already happened this year. It's Mittenmang is happening every second year since 2015. So a fairly new festival, and it's happening in cooperation with Blaumeier Atelier and Theater Bremen. Blaumeier Atelier is an institution, an organization which has a large number of participants, and they're offering every day, every evening, and during the day they're offering workshops. So over the years they established a theater group, a group for artists, diverse workshops, and that's why the festival is participation of the city is really well. So in Mittenmang this year, there were 200 artists from 7 different countries, including 25 performances, indoor and outdoors. And just to give you a small impression, we're still working on our video trailer, but before the trailer is ready, I will present you a short video who gives an impression of the festival.
I'm happy, clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy, clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy, clap along if you.
This year as well, we had Decabelle at the festival, See Decabelle from France. This is a show by Blaumeier Atelier. They're always going out into the streets and making fun with the audience or with passengers passing by in a very charming, sweet way. And this is a production by Theater Stab, Het Kraakpand, which was shown as well this year. So it's always also, and on the picture you see clowns make right up the front to the front, making funny faces. So that's the festival website of our festival in Bremen. And yeah, what I love about the festival that it's happening in 5 days. It's very intense. So all the workshop participants of Blaumeier are joining. Then there's a broad audience. The citizens of Bremen are coming. We have a lot of international artists. At the end, we have a big party to celebrate us, and it's an incredible atmosphere, and you get the feeling what society can be when inclusion really is working. So there is not just inclusion happening on stage, but also in the audience, and that's what I love about the festival the most. This is actually also what's happening at our street festivals. They in very different cities. The festival boulevART is happening in Wismar. It's up in the north of Germany. And Alles muss raus. Alles muss raus means everything must go out. It's connected to the playful word game with go out on the street. And so Alles muss raus, it's happening down in the south in Kaiserslautern. And even though the festivals are happening in different cities, the concept is very similar. They are 3 days long. it's always an international festival, and the amount of spectators is huge. So we attract 13 to 20,000 spectators. And I was participating this year, and I was very thrilled by the enthusiastic audiences, and also the inclusion which is happening on the street, because you reach out due to the setting on the street, you reach out to a totally different audience. So families are there, children, but also non-theater goers, and yeah, they're coming all together. And here again, we're working on our trailer, but before that, I have just a small video clip to give an impression about the atmosphere in Kaiserslautern by Alles muss raus. Before I talk about the No Limits Festival in depth, I would like to point out what we as an organization try to integrate in every festival in terms of accessibility, like the basics. And of course, there's much more to be done, and not everything works out perfectly, just because sometimes out of practical reasons, there is not enough time, sometimes there's not enough money, sometimes a lack of knowledge as well, but we constantly try to improve ourselves, and by exchange with other artists and viewers, we try to change things. So, but for every festival, we have an accessible website, at least for the festivals, which means we try to integrate an easy language. What is absolutely a must is a wheelchair accessible venue. Then we offer free tickets for personal assistance and discounted tickets for disabled audience. Some of our shows have sign language interpreters, and we offer for some performances audio description. There are relaxed performances as well, depending on the performance. We offer touch tours and train venue stuff. I guess those are just the basic accessibilities and barrier-free methods we are using. Of course, there are much more, but just here, those are the basics. Okay, finally, I'm going to head over to the No Limits Festival in Berlin. This is a performance, Claire, you might have seen it at Hebel am Ufer. It's from 2019. So the No Limits Festival is happening every second year in cooperation with Hebel am Ufer. The short version is HAU, Ballhaus Ost, Theater Tikva, and Rambazamba Theater. And Theater Tikva and Rambazamba Theater are theaters who have an disabled ensemble and are long-established theater companies which have now their own venue and their own space and a long working experience. Hebel am Ufer is one of the most established theater venue for showing international contemporary performances. And I would say the same Ballhaus Ost, for Ballhaus Ost. The venue is just a bit smaller. And just to give you an overview on the scale of No Limits, I put down some numbers. So No Limits 2019 in numbers was 11 days long. There were 40 ensembles from 11 different countries, from Austria, Brazil, Switzerland, France, Spain, Italy, the USA. So in total, 85 performances and 17 productions, 3 durational performances, and 1 symposium with the title Disability, Art, and Crip Space Time. This year, No Limits is happening from the 9th to the 19th of November. And the website, which is not yet updated, will be soon. It's no-limits-festival.de. Now I will present some performances which are invited or which are invited this year, which will be shown. Unfortunately, because our program is not fixed, I can't give away anything. I can't give away everything, but what I can, I will do. And I am going to start with a performance by Meine Damen und Herren. It's a inclusive working ensemble in Hamburg, situated in Hamburg. And the performance is called Welt ohne uns, which means the world without us. And the performance is amazingly, I'm searching for the words here, but I was really amazed by it because they created a world on stage, a very atmospheric world, and the performance deals with the subject of death. So basically what happens to me when I'm not there anymore. And they worked with they work with children together, and so it's not an inclusive cast, it's also like a cast which covers all ages. And on the pictures you see a young woman covered in worms, her face is covered in worms, and it's a very strong, frightening image, and that's exactly what the performance is. It makes you curious, but it also it's up to you how much you lose yourself into the images they produce on stage. Here's another picture where you see the cast, and they're wearing worm-like costumes, carrying a wild foil with somebody probably in this file. And the third picture is also a young child wearing a crown of flowers, holding a microphone, and it's a very sinister blue atmosphere. And the second show is from Switzerland. It's called Das Kranke Haus. Das Kranke Haus. In Germany, hospital is called Krankenhaus, and they separate the words, so it means basically ill house. And there the performance is about their experience of hospitals, about illness in a personal way. So they gathered a lot of material based on their biographies, and as well, and that shows this picture. They're working with a camera and dealing a lot with soap operas about hospitals. So they have a lot of very funny scenes where they re-perform those soap operas and mix them with their own personal experience. So the picture shows a woman being in front of the camera, filming a group of performers which wearing white hospital clothes, joined together as a team. And the last picture shows an operation. There's somebody lying on an operation table, and somebody, instead of a scalpel, holds a pen marking the scar. I'm very excited to see those productions. And as well, here are some productions which are coming along. No Gambling by Julia Häusermann and Simone Ortaloni. No Gambling is a production from Switzerland as well, and the production deals with risks. And Julia Häusermann, she has Down syndrome and is a performer from Theater Horan. And Simone Ortaloni, a performer, which is and she's well established into the theater scene. So it's a very great combination of two female artists. We are going to show Soil by Michael Torinski. We are very excited to stage the show. It's a new production, so it's still in the rehearsal process. And Michael Torinski curated the festival No Gambling not last year, but 2019. So he will be coming back, and but as an artist. Then we have Scores That Shaped Our Friendship by Lucy Wilke and Pavel Dudush. This production got really well known because they won one of the biggest awards in the German theater scene. They were invited zum Theatertreffen, which is the gathering of the 10 best theater shows in Germany every year. So we are quite honored that they come to our festival and show their piece in Berlin, which hasn't happened yet due to the pandemic. So this is as well for us very important that we that No Limits is happening in presence in Berlin, and we're trying to make as many things happening in presence to compensate everything which has happened online. It's not that digital theater is not great or has some great value. We just heard the feedback that especially for disabled artists and disabled audience, they couldn't participate in society due to the pandemic as non-disabled artists because of the increased health risks. So that's why we're happy as well to make everything happen in presence, and finger crossed it will work out. No Limits starts in the 21st century, is coming as well. I have shown you some pictures or one picture of the production connected to the Grenzenlos Kultur. So there's also a small connection. Sometimes we have the possibility to show one production at several festivals, as well as Het Kraakpand by Theaterstab from Belgium. Like two more interesting performances are Cold Cases, Antike by Rambazamba Theater. They developed their own show about the classic antique theater performances. And this is a performance which is shown regularly by Rambazamba Theater. but of course attracts then a more international audience if it's happening during the No Limits Festival. And Vertigo by Theater Tikva. Vertigo is a charming performance about the experience of having autism. We have a lot going on the side as well. For example, I'm hoping very much to establish an exchange program for disabled and non-disabled artists, where they have the opportunity to meet and explore and exchange their artistic practice in workshops, and then have the possibility to watch the performances in the evening. I'm still waiting for funding. You never talk about money, but of course that's an important role as well. So hopefully we have a fantastic exchange program. And thank you for listening and hopefully being still with me at that point. Our website, you find all the festivals on our website, Lebenshilfe-Kunst und Kultur.de. We're still working on developing it, but it's in English, or the basics things are in English, so you might get some information out of it. Thank you so much.